Hey, Christ the King. This is Father Tony. This is my end of year 2025 Rector's report. There's 3 times in the year where I address the parish in a more formal way. One is in the annual parish meeting, which is going to come up in January. And that's more a report about the relationship between me as the rector and you guys as the congregation. Then we have a time where we share kind of the results of the staff retreat and our initial plans for the fall and the spring. But then there's the end of year rector's report, which is really standing kind of in the middle of those two things. It's really reflecting back on the fall and pointing a clearer vision around the next coming year. And it always comes right before the pledge drive. And the reason for that is this. The scriptures command us to tithe. 10% of our income belongs to the Lord. We should give it willingly, no matter which parish we're in. However, we are living in a moment where institutions have become really difficult to trust. Money has been misspent, and we know those stories, and they're kind of in the backgrounds of our minds. And so just pastorally, we want to help you feel confident about how your tithes are being used within this parish. We want you to know how they have been used over the last year, and we want you to know how they will be used in the coming year, so that we can give, as Paul says, with joyful hearts. So as we look back on 2025, I want you to feel what I've been feeling all year, that this was a year of maturation, clarity, and growth. Christ the King grew from simply being a mother church into what I would call a mothering parish, a church that doesn't just plant churches from time to time, but a parish that invests in the structures and systems so that planting new churches and raising up new clergy happens regularly, sustainably, and healthily. We also really clarified our life together around what we have been calling CTK simplicity. All we do is Sundays, feast days, and cell groups. And these rhythms weren't just programs, they really did become this year the backbone of our life together and our discipleship and our life in God. We also grew a lot this year. This was a big year for growth, and this season that we're in as of November is a particularly strong season of growth for us. Our Sunday attendance on average grew from a little less than 170 to a little more than 200 since January. But even more importantly, that growth came with depth, real discipleship, real formation, real relationships. In 2025, Christ the King stepped confidently into our identity as a mothering parish. You might remember in July of, I think, 2024, 2023, the years bleed together. I really felt with the vestry, along with me, a sense of vision shift that we weren't just called to be a mother church that planted a daughter church, but we're really being called upon to lead a movement that provided the resources, the know-how, the structures that could plant multiple churches sustainably. You might remember how I spoke to you about how just if we don't really invest in becoming a mothering parish, then doing what we've done, for instance, with Incarnation, of just sending off 65 members without really having a structure to support that repetitively would eventually harm us. And so we set out to really think about what would it look like to be a church that could do this repetitively and have it not crush us. That was our journey towards being a mothering parish. And there's been tremendous progress on that in the year 2025. We became an extension campus of Cranmer Theological House here at our parish. And we've been averaging 14 students per class. We currently have 6 seminary interns that we help fund for seminary classes and help cultivate their life of ministry within our parish. We also launched our very first Made to Flourish residency, a pastoral residency. That's Father Hunter Van Wagenen and his family. We've done many residencies or curacies. Those terms are synonymous in the past. In fact, this will be our 6th one. But this was the first one that we've done with any outside funding. We had a pretty sizable grant to help us do this, and with a lot of intention and know-how. Made to Flourish has been a huge help to us in the work of raising up a curate that is really prepared for what's next. And I'm really pleased at our progress in that. We purchased the parsonage in January, and we renovated it for the next 3 months. We first housed Father Alex Marlowe and his wonderful family. I'll tell you more about how they're doing in a bit. And then the Van Wagenens moved in July. This was a big moment for our parish, a huge step, because it gave us stability and hospitality to host the clergy that we're raising up to send out. Our church plants, let's get back to where we were. I think that's it. Our church plants in Canton, Colorado Springs, and Johnson City are all thriving. These are signs of what we said last year, that CTK is a parish open to life. A note on Canton Incarnation, they will become their own mission sometime in January, with a look to becoming a parish sometime in the spring or summer. We're so proud of the work that they're doing. They are thriving. They outgrew their first space and had to move to a bigger space sometime in 2025. And they also reached sustainability faster than any church plant I've seen. They were sustainable almost after 1 calendar year, and now they have a good surplus to be able to make some strategic advances in their plan towards becoming a parish that plants other churches. We've always set out to make high feast days great again. Our high feast days were some of the richest moments of the year this year. Holy Week, for instance, continues to be a high point among the high feasts. From Christmas Eve to Shrove Tuesday to our Ascension Day luau, the Rogation Day parade, the All Saints Parade of Saints. These feasts are forming us. They're forming our children into a people who live by the Christian calendar and who delight in the beauty of worship. Our new festival committee is an example of us maturing as a parish. We've said for years that Christians should throw the best parties, but this last year we took steps to pursue that ideal with excellence and sustainability. This was a year of sacramental joy and mission. We've always held in our hearts a hope that we would reach out into Northwest Atlanta and bring people into the sacramental life of the church, both through baptism and the Eucharist. We hosted Alpha for the first time this year with that in mind. And what a gift it was to watch adults be baptized and to renew their baptisms. We had so many baptisms this year. I'm still confirming all of the lists in our parish register to know exactly how many. But it was well over a dozen children. We confirmed 25 people, and we welcomed over 40 new members into our parish. These are not just numbers. These are lives, souls, eternal souls knit into the body of Christ. We made a lot of progress on our 3 priorities for the year. And you might remember back in August how we came back from staff retreat and we had 3 priorities for the year, all centering around the theme of beauty. Beauty of parish, beauty of soul, and beauty of order. That was in August. It's November. And we have made such progress on all of these priorities in just 4 months. The first priority was the beauty of the parish. This is not only the beauty of the building, but of the liturgy. We've added an altar reredo. You can see that in the top left picture. Thank you to Carson and Stacy, also Caleb Galloway for all their work on that. We improved the lighting in the sanctuary. And you might know that you might recognize or notice that there's just a golden glow over the sanctuary. That's because we fixed the lights. We've strengthened our flower guild so that we have live flowers on the altar. We've installed the organ up in the loft. We remodeled our basement office, which we call our vestry, and our chapel, which we call our crypt, for ministry use. We expanded our ministry music ministry with the chamber choir with St. Greg, as you see, and our chant choir, which is singing beautiful music. Now every Sunday we have a vocal offertory in the liturgy. And we also significantly beautified the parsonage property, clearing out the forest and making a walking trail and a running trail. If you come by during the week, Stonehaven is using our field almost every day for PE and recess and other play on the field. But we also really renovated the house and all the area around it, and that was a huge investment for the beauty of our parish. These improvements help our worship feel rooted, reverent, and rightly ordered. And a lot more progress is going to be made in the next year. We also made progress on investing in the beauty of souls. The number one way that we beautify souls is through catechesis. And that's where we made the most significant strides with this. We introduced new catechesis tracks for the adults. That's a big shift. Before this last year, we would have one offering for the whole church. Now there's the Bible track led by Deacon Kyle. There's the Rector's Forum led by myself and Father Tyler. There's Anglican Foundations led by Father Hunter. And there's the chamber choir led by St. Greg. Also, Brett Edwards is leading our young adult catechesis every week. So if you ever wonder, where's Brett? He is up there plugging away with all of our 13 through 18-year-olds, teaching them about the whole story of the scriptures out of Peter Leithart's book, House for My Name. We had another great year of clergy calls. We've really devoted ourselves to these. These are a lot of work, but this response has been overwhelming from the parish. There's so much good pastoral work being done right now as we're in Advent clergy calls. We grew in the number of people who are seeking spiritual direction and confession. We've strengthened our pastoral care system. You might not know this, but there's a pastoral care team that meets every month to assess situations that are either crises or counsel. And that's really had a great effect upon the parish, that we're really taking a lot of different cases and we're making sure that we're treating them with the right systems and wisdom to make sure that people are getting the pastoral care and direction that they need. We launched a women's Bible study, and we've had another strong year of retreats. Both the men and the women have taken great retreats, and these were powerful moments of formation. We also had a lot of progress since August on the beauty of order. This might not be a huge value to you all, but we transitioned to Subsplash, which, I'm sure maybe a few of you are really, really excited about the app. There's a button. Really excited about the app, but it really has made a big difference just on the orderliness of running the parish from a staff perspective. But it really does put a lot of the content that is produced into the hands of people in accessible ways. I think that's really helping people get the information that they need about events, communication, ways of connecting, and we're making sure that that's going to continue to improve. Something else that's happening behind the scenes is that we've strengthened our committees. We've really never had committees until 2025. That's a shift that you probably don't know about, but that's really helped a lot of the way that we proceed as a parish. We've created the Building and Grounds Committee. We've created a security committee to assess our safeguarding policies and also our protocols for making sure that our Sundays are safe for everybody. And we have a festival committee to help plan our high feast days. The vestry also is producing a handbook and a calendar of objectives for the oncoming vestry. Because Incarnation is becoming their own parish, we will have a 50% turnover in our vestry this year. And so they're trying to hand off an orderly objective and calendar with a handbook of protocols to the next vestry. They also just approved a new sabbatical policy, which I'm very thankful for. I'll probably be taking my sabbatical in 2027. but that policy was instituted this year. They also are ensuring, and I can say now that we are in full compliance with the new safety and child protection policies that have come down from our diocese, which include sexual abuse prevention training and background checks. So this is a really great way that we're proceeding in the beauty of order. This is the quiet work that keeps parishes healthy. So now we're going to take a little bit of a shift and to look a little bit more towards 2026. What are the new initiatives around these priorities that we've articulated around beauty of parish, beauty of soul, beauty of order? Well, in 2026, we will continue strengthening the beauty of order. We will complete our official parish register, which means that we have all of the baptisms and the confirmations and the members and the marriages and the funerals all in one book, that it's all kept track of. This is a big step for church plants to have. We will we will reissue baptism and confirmation certificates. I know this has been an annoyance for many, is that we just don't have a certificate that shows that this happened. You'll see on the screen that Jenny Johnston created by hand a new certificate template that we're going to use to reissue our baptismal certificates for everyone that's ever been baptized at Christ the King or Incarnation. We're going to establish an endowment committee. This is sometimes called an investment committee, but someone that can steward our funds that we are saving for the future in ways that make sure that they keep up with inflation, for instance. And this is just one of the things that parishes do to become more orderly. And we're also establishing a future home objective, which I'll talk a little bit more about. Actually, is that on this one? That is on this slide. So a quick, maybe side note on future home. We are at our building for the foreseeable future, and we are so happy that we are at our current building for the foreseeable future. It is my hope, and I believe it is Stonehaven's hope, that at some point in the future, we will purchase the building where we are at currently. And I don't know when that will happen. It could be 7 years. It could be 15 years. We just don't know because they don't know. They don't know whenever they're not going to be using the building anymore. And so for the time being, we are just so happy that we are blessed with a building that we have. And we are going to pursue ministry in this place with grateful hearts. We don't know what the future holds. Perhaps in 5 years, we will be ready for something that this building can't provide. I don't think it will be that quick, but maybe in 10 years, we will be ready to take steps into a greater life in place. We have no idea what those things mean, and Stonehaven doesn't know what their future holds. What that means is our hope is to purchase the building, but we need to start saving now and having some greater clarity as to where the Lord is taking us as it pertains to our property, so that in 8 years, we can be ready to make a choice that's good and meet and right so to do. And so that's the objective for our future home. It's not to find a future home now. That's not what we want. It's only to take a little bit of a look into the future so that what we do this year can prepare for what we might do in 8 to 10 years. Let's see, I think I can focus this. There we go. All right. And the beauty of souls. So, initiatives for beauty of souls in 2026. We're going to further expand our Cranmer Theological House Extension campus in Atlanta, and we're going to do that by offering a full certificate of Anglican studies through the seminary. That means that every single class we offer is going to go towards the certificate, so that in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, someone could take a full certificate of Anglican studies in ways that fit within their current life. You can work a full-time job with a family, and if you really wanted to, you could take a class every quarter. We are also going to be starting our Fellows program, which we're calling Ars Vitae, and that'll start sometime in January. Those two fit together. To be a fellow in the program, you will be pursuing a certificate in Anglican studies through the seminary. But there's more to it, and I'm really looking forward to telling you more about Ars Vitae in the next few weeks. We're also training up a team of lay spiritual directors. These are people that will be able to take cases of people that would like spiritual direction. We're really investing in these people so that they're trained for that. And that should happen sometime in 2026. And lastly, what are our initiatives for the beauty of the parish in 2026? Well, the biggest one is that we're launching a second service. And we're going to do this on Lent 1, 2026. That's in early February. The second service is going to be at 5 p.m. And it's going to be evensong, choral evensong, and Eucharist. If you've never been to a choral evensong, many consider it to be the crown jewel of the Anglican patrimony. It is the most beautiful liturgy that we have in the prayer book and within our tradition. And that's really what we're going for. It's why I have it under Beauty of the Parish. Our Sunday mornings are so wonderful. They're so full of life, especially new life. We have so many young children. And we really want to make sure that we are stewarding that incredible opportunity well on Sunday mornings. It's not to say that it's all for children on Sundays. We have a multi-generational parish, but we felt that we wanted to provide something in the evening that allowed a different type of beauty to radiate through the liturgy, one where quietness and choral offering and contemplation and prayer were a little bit easier to access, which, of course, noise, it makes it more difficult. It's not bad. It's just there's other ways of radiating beauty. The choral evensong and Eucharist in the evening, I think, will be a place where lots of people can find deep connection to the Lord through prayer. I imagine that for some of you, this will become your primary service. And I hope that that is true. For some of you, I hope that this will be a supplement to your regular continual life at Sunday mornings. I know I will go just as a congregant to the evensong to have my soul refreshed with a beautiful, quiet liturgy from time to time. I'm really looking forward to the start of this. I think it will also accommodate some of our growth that we've experienced in 2025. It's good to not be brimming over in a sanctuary space and to have a little bit of space for new people to find their place within the body of Christ. A couple other quick things. We're adding stars to the sanctuary ceiling, which I think will be really beautiful. And we'll probably add some tapestries to the walls next to the new reredos at some point in 2026. We're also going to be increasing our benevolence fund. This is a beauty of the parish because it is a beautiful thing to care for those in need, especially those in the household of God. There are many under financial stress, and we want to have a greater offering to those in need within our parish. And the way that we're going to do that is through an increased benevolence fund. I wanted to speak briefly, there's only one more slide after this, about our next church plant. Father Hunter is prayerfully considering 2 planting zones. One is in Powder Springs, and the other one is in East Cobb. You can see the circles and how they map onto our current dot map for the parish. This is obsolete, but it's the best one I could find. A final decision as to which circle he's going to choose will be made with the whole church, the vestry, myself, in the next few months. When he launches the church a year and a half from now, he's going to need families to go. And so in a few months, he's going to start asking people whether they would join his launch team. And we're going to need 7 or more households willing to commit for at least 18 months to helping a new church get off the ground. Even as Father Hunter is in this final phase of discernment, I invite you to seek the Lord. This Advent and Christmas, ask him, am I open to being sent? Ask yourself, does my heart burn for those who are not yet within the kingdom of God? The answer to each of those questions should be yes, whether or not you go with this church plant. And I encourage you to spend time prayerfully cultivating an openness in your heart that says, yes, Lord, I will go where you send me. Be it unto me according to your will. I give my life and comfort for the life of the world. You won't be able to assess whether you should or shouldn't be a member of the launch team until you've done the spiritual work to be open in your heart to the heart of God for those who are not yet in the room. And to close, I wanted to zoom out. As we look into the future, I want to leave you with 3 commitments. In 2026, we're going to remain responsive. Our plans are held loosely. We will respond to what the Lord brings our way, and we will be attentive to what the Lord is doing. We are going to save for the future. This will be the first year that we've really taken seriously where we're going in the future. And that will probably result in us saving money in ways that we haven't before. We still are going to remain responsive to what the Lord is calling us to do. And we have to hold that intention with saving for what we think the Lord is going to have us to do in the future. In both of these in this tension, we are committed to staying simple. Staying simple. Sunday Eucharist, catechesis, and cell groups are going to be the backbone of our life together. Simplicity is not smallness, it's health. It's Acts 2. They broke bread together. That's the Eucharist. They sat under the apostles' teaching. That's catechesis. And they enjoyed the apostles' fellowship. That's cell groups. They devoted themselves to the prayers. That's spiritual direction and rule of life. Oh, and they planted a lot of churches. Sound familiar? I'm so thankful to be in a church that imitates the early church, and the Lord is blessing our faithful simplicity. So, friends, 2025 was a year of maturity, clarity, and growth. 2026 will be a year of openness, planning for the future, and beauty and simplicity. The beauty of souls, the beauty of parish, and the beauty of order. As we kick off our annual pledge drive, I want you to be confident that the parish where you send your tithe is stewarding things well. It's a sacrifice to tithe. We're commanded to do it regardless of what parish we're in, but it makes it easier when you know how it is being used and to what ends. So I hope this report has been clarifying. May God bless you. May God bless Christ the King as we enter into our new liturgical year, that we might radiate the truth, goodness, and beauty of King Jesus.